What's up, everybody? It's JT Sports back, you guys, with another video. This video I'm here with my Pittsburgh Steelers versus the San Francisco 49ers Week 3 NFL preview and prediction. Going to be previewing this matchup and giving my prediction for who will win this game. Now, before I begin, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel below. NFL videos and NFL content daily. So, the Pittsburgh Steelers going against the San Francisco 49ers. This game is going to be in San Fran. And Pittsburgh, starting the season not so good. They are 0-2 without quarterback Big Ben Roethlisberger. He's out for the season with some kind of elbow injury. And the San Francisco 49ers, after kind of a rough start on offense against Tampa in Week 1, this offense really got things rolling against the Cincinnati Bengals last week in Week 2. So you got a tale of a really red-hot team versus a team that right now desperately needs a win right now. So for the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mason Rudolph is going to be getting his first NFL start. I mean, last week he looked very impressive versus Seattle. He completed 12 out of, I believe it was either 17 or 19 of his passes, had over 100 yards passing, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, even though that interception was because Dante Moncrief just has bricks for hands and can't catch anything. So Mason Rudolph had a very impressive debut when he was able to come in when Big Ben went down and wasn't able to return for the second half of that Seattle Seahawks game. Although they lost, Mason Rudolph looked very impressive. And with this Pittsburgh Steelers team, a lot of people think that the Pittsburgh Steelers season just might be over. They traded for Minka Fitzpatrick. They traded a first-round pick for him in exchange with the Miami Dolphins to receive Minka Fitzpatrick, who is a very good defensive back. He can play any position in the secondary. He can play cornerback. He can play safety. So, I mean, this is a guy who can really help improve this Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, which desperately needs help because the secondary has not been playing so well the last couple of weeks. New England, understandable. But Seattle's a good team, but the secondary could play a lot better than what it has been the last couple of weeks. So they got some much needed help in the secondary getting Minka Fitzpatrick. Now, I'm not expecting Minka Fitzpatrick to have an incredibly big impact in this game just because he just got to Pittsburgh. He's probably arriving to Pittsburgh probably today, so he's probably learned the playbook and things like that. So I'm not expecting to see Minka Fitzpatrick have a big impact right away for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a lot of people are trying to count them out going into the playoffs, but I kind of have to disagree with that. They obviously trust Mason Rudolph, and how could you not? I mean, you got Juju Smith-Schuster, who should be able to come on now the first couple of weeks. Ben Roethlisberger hasn't really been himself, so I think that's kind of been holding back the production on the wide receiving group. Besides for Dante Moncrief, I don't even know why he's still on the field at this point, why he's still on the team. But anyway, the wide receiving group played a lot better when Mason Rudolph was in there at quarterback as well. Mason Rudolph, man, he has weapons. You got James Conner, you got Jalen Samuels, you got a good group of halfbacks. You got both of these halfbacks in James Conner and Jalen Samuels, so both good at catching the ball. So you got 2 halfbacks who are very good catching the ball as well. You got one of the best offensive lines of football. Pittsburgh, without any debate, has a top 5 offensive line in the NFL. I mean, against New England, Big Ben dropped back 47 times, only got sacked once, and he didn't really get pressure that much against New England. And then against Seattle, he didn't really get pressure that much as well. I mean, he pretty much had a pretty clean pocket to throw from. So Mason Rudolph is coming into a better situation than a lot of these young rookie quarterbacks like a Daniel Jones, who's off the line, isn't going to be that good. So, I mean, if you're Mason Rudolph, you're in an ideal situation. There's not many young quarterbacks that are going to be in a situation like Mason Rudolph when you have a very good offensive line, when you have a legit wide receiver in Juju Smith-Schuster, you have what looks to be a very good offensive line, a good supporting cast. You got Vince McDonald. So Mason Rudolph has a lot of weapons at his disposal to have success and be productive. And specifically with that offensive line, you see most rookie quarterbacks or most young quarterbacks, Mason Rudolph isn't a rookie, but I mean most young quarterbacks don't really have the talent around him that what Mason Rudolph has. I mean, most young quarterbacks have a garbage offensive line. Mason Rudolph, on the other hand, I mean, this guy has arguably one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, top 5. So he's in an ideal situation that he has talent around him. It's just about him being able to make things work and be able to make plays for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then for the 49ers, I mean, this 49ers defense, I mean, I told everybody coming into this offseason that I think the 49ers are going to end up being a playoff team. And so far, they look like a playoff team. The defense has looked very good. I mean, last year the defense struggled to really get interceptions and get takeaways. Now they forced turnovers in the last 2 games, I believe. So, I mean, this defense is really good. You got Richard Sherman, who looks very good this season so far. I mean, the front 7 of the San Francisco 49ers, specifically the defensive line, looks very good. You got D Ford, you got Bosa, you got, who else? D Ford's Buckner. So, I mean, this is a group. I'm really interested in seeing what this defensive line for the 49ers does against this Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, which is very good. I mean, you got several All-Pros. You got Marquise Pouncey, you got Ramon Foster. You also got a couple of Pro Bowlers on this offensive line as well. So, I mean, this is going to be a very big test for the San Francisco 49ers defensive line and seeing if they can get some pressure on Mason Rudolph against a very stout Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line. And looking at my keys to victory, what each of these teams is doing able to have a chance to win the game. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, secondary has to play well. I mean, for the last 3 weeks, I've been saying this. The Steelers secondary has to play well, and they haven't played well against Seattle. I mean, Russell Wilson did his thing, and against New England, we already know what happened against New England. Tom Brady was just doing whatever he wanted to against his Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So the secondary has to play well, especially against an offense that right now just came off a 40-point performance against Cincinnati. And Cincinnati's the Bengals defense isn't bad by any stretch of imagination. Other than the linebacker position, I mean, Cincinnati Bengals have a very solid secondary and a very good defensive line. So the fact that the 49ers just went out there and just did whatever they wanted to do against the Cincinnati Bengals, that gives me a little bit of a question for concern. Then you also had Deebo Samuels, who was going. Jimmy Garoppolo looks now to start hitting his strides now, all after kind of starting out slow against Tampa. Then you also got Marquise Goodwin, who's also making plays as well. Then we cannot forget about George Kittle. I mean, it's just a lot of things, a lot of weapons that the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary is going to have to be able to stop. And I mean, when you look at the performance and how the secondary has played the last couple of weeks, I mean, you got to be a little bit concerned if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And me being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, I'm definitely concerned. And then the next thing is, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got to be able to stop the 49ers halfbacks. I mean, you got Matt Breida, you got Raheem Morstead. I mean, you got a lot. I mean, the 49ers, I think the 49ers have the deepest backfield when healthy in the NFL. I mean, they have a lot of talented halfbacks. I mean, Matt Breida last week went for like over 100 total all-purpose yards or something like that. Morstead had a big play. So, I mean, they're very stacked at the halfback position. So, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, you got to look out for that. Not only can these halfbacks make plays, run the football, but they can also make plays in the passing game as well. And the last thing the 49ers need to be able to do, they have to be able to get pressure on Mason Rudolph. I mean, this is a very good offensive line. This is a top 5 offensive line in football. No argument there, no debate. You got 2 All-Pros. You got 4 Pro Bowlers on this offensive line. So, this is a very legit and stout offensive line. If the San Francisco 49ers, if they want to win this game, they're going to have to be able to get after a young quarterback in Mason Rudolph and get pressure on him and force him to make mistakes. And that's going to be a big key in this game to seeing if they're going to be able to get pressure on Mason Rudolph with this very stout offensive line. Now, also for the Pittsburgh Steelers is they got to get Mason Rudolph going. I mean, they have to get Mason Rudolph going. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but Pittsburgh has to get Mason Rudolph going, and the way you get that going is by protecting him, giving him time to throw the football, and just giving him time and putting him in good situations. And that goes back to the 49ers, what they have to do. They have to be able to get pressure on Mason Rudolph if they want to be able to win this game. And now, going back to the 49ers, like I was talking about earlier, I know I've been going a little bit back and forth, my fault, but I mean, 49ers, they have to get pressure on Mason Rudolph, get him confused, give him some looks that he doesn't really know. He's young, he's inexperienced, so throw a couple of exotic blitzes his way and see if he's able to pick him up. And then the last thing they need to do for the San Francisco 49ers to win this game, you have to be able to protect Jimmy Garoppolo. The Pittsburgh Steelers were getting pressure on Russell Wilson for most of the entire game, besides the fourth and midway through the third quarter. But this defensive line for Pittsburgh, they can cause a lot of problems. You got Cam Hayward there, you got Stephon Tuitt, you got a lot of guys up front who can cause chaos up front for the San Francisco 49ers offensive line. So the team I'm going with to win this game, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers. Now, I am a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and it pains me to go with the 49ers. But, I mean, after how our defense has played the last couple of games, specifically in the secondary, I'm not really confident. So, Pittsburgh really has to prove to me that this secondary is going to be able to perform a lot better than what it has been doing the last couple of weeks. So, I'm going with the 49ers to win this game. I pride my channel on non-biased takes, and so far, I just don't trust the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. So, I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers to win this game. I think San Francisco wins this game 28, and Pittsburgh puts up 21 points. So I'm going with the 49ers 28-21. So this is it for my San Francisco 49ers versus the Pittsburgh Steelers preview and prediction. Let me know who you guys think ends up winning this game down in the comment section down below. Also, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more NFL videos and content. And thanks for watching.